Welcome to Creating Insights, a perspective on wrangling understanding and insights from complexity. We often set out to deal with situations and end up making them worse or creating new problems that have to be solved after the fact. It's often said that the majority of today's problems are the direct result of yesterday's solutions, and one might claim that we're actually the poster children for Pogos. We have met the enemy and he is us. The primary reason for this is our passion for a one-dimensional focus on things where this is the problem and this is a solution, though seldom is it ever that simple. Everything is simply far too interconnected these days, which I think I attempted to point out in Battling the Jungle, if you've seen that perspective. So we start with a situation, and I prefer to call it a situation because it sort of encompasses a number of different things. It might be a problem that I'm trying to figure out how to deal with. It might be something that I'm trying to understand, some situation that I'm trying to create. It simply represents some state of things that is different than the way that I would like them to be. The difficulty that arises, though, is that reality today is extremely complex with all of the things that are interconnected. It's difficult to sort out from that mess of things just how to go about dealing with the situation at hand. So what we do is we use the situation as a basis for focus to employ complex reality to provide a context, and we create a relationship map of the relevant relationships. Now, of course, there's a question about what does relevant mean, and we'll get to that, not in this perspective, but in one soon to follow. But that set of relationships which are tightly or closely related to the situation that we're trying to deal with, as opposed to all of the things that one connection leads to another, which ends up creating maps that look like this one. So the idea is to sort of use the situation and sort out from complex reality some set of relationships that are relevant to this situation. And when we get it right, it promotes understanding and hopefully some insights that gives us a leg up or a more likely hopeful situation where we think we can deal with the situation in an effective manner, as opposed to, as I said, simply making the situation worse or creating new problems that we have to deal with after the fact. So in terms of whether the model that we create is a good model or not depends upon whether it in fact helps us understand the situation, surfaces insights, and enables us to actually act more effectively in turning the current situation into the future. And we'll get into a bit more shortly about the actual nature of that set of relationships, that relevant relationship map that we create, and how we go about doing that. So, hope you found this somewhat interesting, and I'll see you in another perspective shortly. Bye.